guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Kaylee June and I'm a beauty and fashion photographer based in Sydney, Australia. And today we're going to be talking about the one thing that all freelance photographers should have for their business. Now, I really want to talk about this particular point today, and this one thing that I believe that everyone should have, whether you are a photographer or a different type of freelancer, makeup artist, whatever it is, this is a really imperative thing to have for your business. And the reason I really want to talk about it today is because I don't feel that a lot of people know what it is necessarily, or they haven't considered it for their business yet. Admittedly, I don't think it's something that's talked about very widely, and I really want to delve into it today. But first, I'm going to thank today's sponsor, which is Bloom.io, and they are the go-to admin solution for all freelancers out there. Bloom is the easiest platform online to streamline your booking, invoicing, and communication with your clients. The platform specifically aims itself towards freelancers, small businesses, and solo entrepreneurs, which is exactly why I wanted to speak about the topic that we are going to delve into today. But for those of you who don't know, Bloom is a CRM software, and that stands for Customer Relationship Management. So for those of you who are interested in learning more about Bloom, you can follow the link in the description box below. You can also use my code down below in the description box for 15% off all of Bloom's products. So thank you again to Bloom for sponsoring this video, and that leads me into the topic for this video, which some of you guys may have already guessed what I'm going to be talking about. But today we're going to be chatting about CRM software, so Customer Relationship Management. It is so important as a freelancer that you are on top of your admin and you are on top of your business. And as a lot of you may already know, it can be a really difficult thing to do. For me especially, I never actually heard about CRM software until I was well into my business and until I'd been freelancing for like 1 or 2 years at this point. And I finally found something that I felt was like that go-to thing for my business. I'd always stuck to invoicing platforms online, particularly to do with the financial back end of my business. And I think that that was great to an extent, but unfortunately it just didn't suit my freelancing needs. It didn't really suit my business in terms of everything else that was going on. I couldn't track things. I didn't really have one specific spot to put all my customers' details, and I just felt like it was messy, and it felt messy, and I just felt like I couldn't keep on top of my work. The one thing I didn't mention at the beginning of the video too, with Bloom, you can actually integrate QuickBooks and Xero. So if you use any of those programs, you can integrate it with Bloom via Zapier. So I'm actually going to go through a few reasons as to why you should really consider having CRM software and why it's just as important as having your own invoicing software and accounting software. It really is that next step into organizing your business, into tracking your workflow, which is not something that a lot of people tend to do. And I feel that it's really made a difference in how I look at my business, how my organization looks from day to day, and how I can keep on track of things overall. So the first reason we're going to go over today as to why I feel that all freelance photographers should have CRM software is to track leads and workflow. Now, as I said before, tracking things like this is actually a really important part of your business. And there's nothing worse than when you're trying to keep track of all your leads in Gmail or another email inbox that you might have, and you're trying to look through all of your emails to see where your leads are and really keeping track of them in a really healthy visual way. It's really difficult to do in emails, and it's something that I don't like relying on. And that's one thing that I've found ever since using CRM software that really helps. As you can see here with using Bloom software, you can actually create different workflows. So for example, I have a workflow that is more or less for portfolio photo shoots. So if there's an aspiring model who is booking me for a model portfolio, I can have a specific workflow for that and make sure I'm checking things off as I go. And then I've also made a workflow for campaign photo shoots. So you can kind of see that there's a little bit of a difference between the two. Usually with a campaign photo shoot, there might be a meeting attached to it. There might be a little bit more of a booking process, or even when it comes to delivery, there might be things I have to do differently with socials. So it can really differ from booking to booking. And that's why these workflows are so helpful to really keep track of where you're at. I think even for test shoots, this is a really, really great function, because for a lot of you out there, you might be doing a lot of test shoots like I do from time to time. And sometimes I'll have like 5 or 6 at once that I'm actually working on. So it's really hard to know where I'm at in that planning process. It's great to be able to have a workflow where I can designate my planning process in terms of like sending a mood board out, a call sheet, making sure that that's done, and then tracking all the way through to the end of the photo shoot and delivery, and making sure that I've sent the images to everyone that they need to be sent to. The other thing that I mentioned earlier was tracking leads, and I think that this is a really great way of doing this. Bloom also has an area, for example, where you can go in and track all of your leads in one spot. And that's really, really great, because often I tend to forget about my leads throughout my emails, it's very hard to keep track of them, especially when you're getting a lot of different emails each day about different things. It's hard to go back and find those potential clients. And I'm pretty good as well when it comes to labeling and color labeling and everything in Gmail, but it just doesn't do the trick for me. I need something visually that's more or less set out in front of me that's very easy to see. And that's why I believe that having a CRM software like this helps you a lot more with tracking those leads. It's really good for following up with people too, because although you might have followed up at some point with a potential client at some stage, you can keep them in your leads section. And for example, if that particular client didn't book you on one occasion, you could follow up with them at another stage, say 6 months down the track, and let them know that if they're interested in shooting at any point, that you are available and you'd love to work with them. It's a really good way of following up in that sense. The next reason that I feel that freelance photographers should have CRM software is for personalization and customization. That's one thing that I've found that has changed enormously with my business around using CRM software is it allows me to customize everything a lot more to suit me and my business. As I said, it also helps to personalize. So when I was talking about earlier, putting client information into a platform like this, you can really go through and personalize things for your customers. And there's also the function of showing your availability to your customers directly, and it's easier for your customers to make a booking, especially when it comes to creating things like photo shoot packages, which you can do through programs like Bloom. It's one thing that I feel is really professional. Accounting software, like I said, is great. It is great for the financial back end of things. But when it comes to having that extra flair to your business, having a little bit more of a customer relationship, this is one really great system to use. And the next and most important reason I feel that everyone should have CRM software is the fact that it is a place for everything. It's not just one or two things like accounting software is. It is a place for everything. So your invoices, your leads, your workflow, your contracts, email, scheduling, and availability. It is all there in one spot. This is what I love about using CRM software now, is that I don't have to look much further than this particular platform to know what's going on in my business. I can really just use it as my go-to, where I can go and see what I have to work on, where I have to answer emails, where I'm tracking with my workflow. It's just all in one. Especially when it comes to contracts and invoicing too, it is so good to be able to have your copies there as well and not just rely on accounting software, because that doesn't necessarily do all your contracts for you. And the fact that programs like Bloom have templates ready to go for your contracts, specifically created for freelancers, it's such a good starting point, especially for beginners out there who are looking at freelancing for the first time and aren't really sure where to start. You've sort of got like a head start already with a program like this. For those of you who don't know as well, I recently parted ways with my agency. So whereas I didn't have to do a lot of the admin work initially with my agency, now I'm back to doing it all by myself. So something like this is just so wonderful to have all in one spot. So guys, I hope this video just opened your eyes up a little bit to CRM software and what it can actually do for you in your photography business. If you are interested in checking out Bloom, as I said before, there is a link down in the description box below. So definitely feel free to go and check them out. I have been using them for a little while now, and I've been super pleased with the results of it and actually getting on top of my business. It has been a long road to get to this point where I feel this organized, but finally I feel like I'm really getting there. And that's why I really wanted to talk about CRM software today. So if this kind of software can help any of you out there who are looking at starting out freelancing or starting your own photography business, I really hope that this does help you. And I hope that this gives you a little bit more clarity around everything that comes along with having a photography business. Okay guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure that you click the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you see all the videos that I have coming up in future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.